All right, so today we're going to dive into something pretty fascinating. Um, it's all about the power of words, specifically mantras, and how they can shape our minds. Kind of like, have you ever thought about a drop of water? Like just one single drop landing on a rock?
Doesn't seem like much, right?
No, not at all. But imagine that same drop falling on the exact same spot, day after day, year after year. What happens?
It starts to wear away at the stone, slowly carving into it.
Exactly. And eventually it reshapes that rock entirely. It's incredible. And that's a lot like what we're talking about today, that power of repetition, a focused intention to bring about change over time. And we'll be looking at this from all angles, the philosophy behind it, the psychology, the real life experiences.
I think what's really interesting is how it speaks to our human potential, this idea that we can actually mold our inner world through consistent practice.
Absolutely. And when we look at it through the lens of Buddhist philosophy, it gets even more intriguing. See, the idea here is that sound is not just noise, it's sacred. It's this vibrant energy that connects us to our deepest selves, to this web of existence that we're all a part of.
It's like this underlying vibration, this hum that runs through everything.
Yeah, exactly. And mantras, they tap into that. They're not just words we say, they're like frequencies, keys that unlock hidden potential within us.
And what's really mind-blowing is that this whole concept of sound shaping the mind, it's actually backed up by modern science, by what we know about neuroplasticity.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Well, you know how our brains are constantly forming new connections, new pathways based on our experiences? It's like that water drop reshaping the rock, right?
Yeah.
Each time we repeat a mantra, each time we focus on that sound and its meaning, it strengthens certain neural pathways, influencing our thoughts, feelings, even our beliefs. It's pretty amazing stuff.
So in a way, we're talking about rewiring our brains for the better.
You got it. And to understand this better, it's helpful to go back to the origins of mantras. Like, where did this practice even come from?
Well, the source material tells us about Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha. As he was sitting under the Bodhi tree on his path to enlightenment, he wasn't just sitting there in total silence, he was chanting.
Chanting.
Yeah, sacred syllables, sounds filled with spiritual energy. And one of the most fundamental ones, one that's still widely used today, is Om. It's considered the primordial sound, like the vibration from which everything arose.
Wow, so it's like connecting with the very source of creation.
Exactly. And the sources say that when you chant Om with intention, it links you to that infinite consciousness, to that universal energy. But this brings up a big question. Why sound? Why did the Buddha choose sound as this path to understanding?
That's a great question. And the answer, according to Buddhist thought, is that sound is more than what we hear. It's a form of energy. Oh, absolutely. Every thought we have, every word we speak, they create these energetic ripples within us. Like, think about it. Negative thoughts, they create a sense of discord, this chaotic vibration. But positive affirmations.
They build a sense of peace, like harmony.
Exactly. And mantras, they act as stabilizers. They guide our minds towards clarity, towards inner peace, through the power of these specific resonant sounds.
So it's like intentionally choosing the kind of energy we want to cultivate within ourselves.
Precisely.
It makes me think about those times when you hear a certain song and it just hits you right in the feels. Or when a phrase sticks with you for days.
It's powerful, isn't it? The way sound can impact us so deeply.
It really is. And that's a glimpse into what we're talking about here. But instead of just passively receiving sound with mantras, we're consciously directing that power. It's like harnessing the emotional impact of music, but with a specific intention in mind.
And that brings us back to neuroplasticity, to how this all plays out in our brains. You see, each time we repeat a thought, a behavior, we're strengthening the neural pathways associated with it. So if we constantly dwell on negative thoughts...
those pathways become stronger.
Right. It's like carving a deeper groove in that rock. But mantras, they offer us a way to create new, positive grooves.
Okay, so how exactly does that work?
Well, the repetition of a mantra, whether it's a traditional one or a personal affirmation, engages the parts of our brain linked to self-awareness and emotional regulation. And over time, this practice strengthens those positive neural connections, making those feelings, those beliefs, more readily available to us, like they become our new default setting.
So it's like training our minds, almost like practicing a skill.
Exactly. It takes time, it takes effort, but the results can be profound. There's this example in the source material about someone struggling with self-doubt, and they start using the mantra, I am enough. At first, it might feel forced, unnatural even.
Because they don't believe it yet.
Right. But with repetition, those inner critic voices begin to quiet down, and a sense of self-acceptance starts to grow.
It's like planting a seed, nurturing it until it blooms.
Beautiful analogy. And speaking of real-life examples, there's this story about Ananda, this corporate professional who was just completely burned out.
Oh, I can relate to that.
Right. She was introduced to the mantra Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, which means peace. Peace, peace. And she was skeptical at first. I mean, how could just chanting 3 words make a difference in her overwhelming stress?
That's understandable, though. I think a lot of people feel that way initially.
Absolutely. But what's important is that Ananda was willing to try. And that openness led to a pretty big shift for her.
What happened?
Well, she started chanting it each evening, just softly to herself. And gradually, she noticed her mind calming down, her thoughts slowing down. It became her little sanctuary, this space to reconnect with herself amidst the chaos of her life.
It's amazing how these ancient practices can be so relevant and helpful, even in our modern, fast-paced world.
Isn't it? And that brings us to you, dear listener. How can you integrate mantras into your own life?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. So the source material gives some really good starting points. First off, choose your mantra mindfully.
What does that mean?
Well, pick a phrase that resonates with you, with what you need right now. It could be a traditional mantra like Mani Padme Hum, or something more personal like I am strong or I am filled with peace.
I like that. Choose what feels authentic to you.
Exactly. And then consistency is key. Even setting aside just a few minutes each day can make a huge difference over time.
Any suggestions on when to do it?
Mornings and evenings are often recommended, but honestly, anytime you can find a moment of stillness is perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is a cool tip. Engage multiple senses. Like if your mantra is, I radiate love, visualize that warmth spreading through you. It can make it even more powerful.
I like that, bringing the imagination into it.
Yeah, it's about making it a full sensory experience. And remember, be patient with yourself. Transformation takes time. Don't expect overnight miracles.
It's a process.
It is, yeah. And you don't have to chant out loud if that doesn't feel right. You can repeat your mantra silently, listen to recordings, even write it down. Find what works for you.
So many options.
And the main thing is to be present. It's not about perfect pronunciation or being super rigid. The essence of mantra practice is bringing your awareness to the present moment.
It's about that connection, that intention.
Absolutely. And as we move deeper into this exploration, we'll uncover even more about the vibrational essence of mantras, bridging ancient wisdom with our modern understanding of energy.
I'm excited to delve into that.
Me too. So we've talked about the what's and the why of mantras, but what are they really at their core? The source material describes them as vibrations, like frequencies that resonate with the fabric of existence itself.
Whoa, that's deep.
It is, right. And it aligns with this fundamental Buddhist principle that everything in the universe is interconnected through vibration.
So we're all vibrating.
We are. Our thoughts, our emotions, they all generate these energetic waves. And mantras, they allow us to consciously align our own vibration with the natural rhythms of the universe.
Okay, I'm following.
Think about Om again. Each syllable, AUM, represents a stage in the cycle of existence. Creation, preservation, and destruction.
That's the continuous flow of life.
Exactly. So chanting Om becomes this way of connecting with that eternal flow, with that bigger picture.
Interesting.
And the source material suggests that in moments of stress, when we're feeling overwhelmed by chaos, using a mantra can bring our energy back into balance.
Like how?
Well, let's say you're meditating and your mind is racing. Repeating Om can help quiet those thoughts, create a sense of inner calm and clarity. It's like tuning a musical instrument. When our internal state is in harmony, we naturally radiate that balance outwards.
I like that analogy.
And what's really cool is that this isn't just some mystical concept. Modern psychology is actually finding correlations between sound and our well-being. Studies have shown that certain sounds can lower stress hormones, reduce anxiety, even boost brain function.
It makes you think about those nature sounds like ocean waves or rainfall. They just have this naturally calming effect.
They do, right? And they work by resonating with our nervous system at specific frequencies. Mantras work in a similar way. They introduce these harmonious vibrations to counteract the disharmony within us, to restore a sense of balance.
So we're essentially using sound to retune ourselves.
You got it. And that brings us to the fascinating science of resonance. You know how one vibrating object can make another object vibrate at the same frequency?
I think I've seen that with tuning forks in science class.
Exactly, it's like that. With mantras, our voice creates the initial vibration, and then our body and mind respond. They resonate with that frequency. There's this example in the source material about Tibetan monks and their overtone chanting. Research has shown that these chants can stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for relaxation and reducing inflammation.
That's incredible.
It is, and some chants have even been shown to activate areas of the brain linked to higher awareness. So the benefits are real, both physically and mentally.
This is all so fascinating. I'm starting to see the potential here.
Right, and the source material has a lot of practical examples of how people are using mantras in their everyday lives. Like there's Sarah, a single mom, who started using the mantra Hamsa during her daily commute.
What does that one mean?
It's often translated as I am that, or it's connected to the breath. And over time, Sarah noticed her stress levels going down and this newfound inner strength emerging.
Just from chanting Hamsa.
Yeah. It started as a way to cope with the stress of her commute and became a daily practice for her. Then there's Mark, an executive who struggled with imposter syndrome. He adopted the mantra, I am worthy of success. He'd write it down, repeat it silently throughout his day, and gradually his confidence grew.
Wow, so it's like using mantras to combat those negative self-beliefs.
Exactly. It's about replacing those limiting thought patterns with something positive and empowering. And these stories show us that mantras are adaptable. You can use them in whatever way works best for you, whether it's chanting aloud or repeating them silently. So how can we make this a regular part of our lives?
Yeah, that's the key, right? Turning this knowledge into action.
Absolutely, and the source material has some great guidance on that. First off, start small. Don't feel like you have to jump into hour-long meditation sessions. Even just a minute or two each day can make a difference.
Consistency over intensity, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can try linking your mantra to existing routines. Like while you're making your morning coffee, silently repeat, I welcome this day with gratitude. It's a simple way to weave it into your day.
A good one.
The source also suggests creating a dedicated space, even if it's just a corner of your room with things that bring you peace.
Yeah.
It's like a signal to your mind that it's time to turn inward.
I can see that being helpful.
Oh, and don't be afraid to experiment with movement. Like chanting while you're walking or doing yoga can be really powerful.
Oh, yeah, I love that idea.
And keeping a journal can be beneficial too. Just jot down any thoughts, feelings, or insights that come up during your practice. It can help you track your progress and deepen your understanding of yourself.
And if traditional mantras don't resonate with you?
Customize it.
Yeah.
You can adapt existing ones or create your own. The power lies in the intention behind the words.
So it's about finding what feels authentic and meaningful to you.
It is. And speaking of meaning, let's talk about the psychological benefits of mantras. The source material highlights how they can help reframe negative thought patterns. It's actually similar to cognitive behavioral therapy, which also focuses on challenging distorted beliefs.
So it's like a form of mental training.
Yeah, it is. And just like CBT helps us identify and disrupt negative self-talk, mantras give us these positive affirmations to replace those harmful inner dialogues.
Makes sense.
And beyond just changing our thoughts, mantras cultivate mindfulness. When you focus on the sound and rhythm of a mantra, it helps you stay present, reduces distractions, and quiets those worries about the past or future.
It's like a mental anchor.
It is. And this increased awareness can actually carry over into other areas of your life, helping you be more present and engaged in everything you do.
I can see how that would be incredibly beneficial.
Absolutely. And as we approach the end of this part of our exploration, I want to leave you with this question. What will your mantra be? The source material encourages us to trust in the transformative power of mantras. It's like planting seeds. With consistent nurturing, they will eventually blossom.
So it's an invitation to step into that power, to create positive change in our lives.
Exactly. And now, as we move into the final part of our deep dive, we'll explore the universality of mantras and how they can guide us towards wholeness.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
What's really remarkable about mantras is that they transcend cultural and linguistic boundaries. They tap into this universal consciousness, a truth that's accessible to everyone. And this aligns with the Buddhist concept of dharma, the underlying order and truth of existence.
So it's like this common thread that connects us all.
Exactly. A good example is the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, the traditional translation, the jewel is in the lotus, might seem a bit cryptic at first,
It does sound a bit mysterious.
but the source emphasizes that you don't need a perfect understanding of the literal meaning to benefit from it. It's about the vibration, the resonance it creates within you.
It's more about the feeling than the intellectual understanding.
Absolutely. And this ancient wisdom has so many applications in our modern lives. Like, for dealing with fear and anxiety, the source suggests using grounding mantras like I am safe or the traditional Buddhist mantra, Parasam Gate, Bodhisvaha, which encourages us to move beyond our perceived limitations.
That's powerful.
For cultivating abundance and prosperity, it recommends affirmations like, I attract wealth effortlessly. This connects to the Buddhist principle of dependent arising, the idea that our positive intentions create the conditions for positive outcomes. There's also the mantra, Om Vasudharnama, which is dedicated to the goddess of abundance.
Interesting. So there are specific mantras for specific intentions.
There are. And for strengthening relationships, it suggests focusing on cultivating empathy and loving kindness with mantras like, May I be filled with kindness, and connecting to the practice of loving kindness meditation.
It's like using sound to cultivate positive qualities within ourselves.
Yes. And for navigating change, it encourages embracing the Buddhist concept of impermanence, the idea that everything is always changing. Mantras like change is my ally, or I trust the unfolding of life, can be very helpful in those times.
They provide a sense of grounding amidst uncertainty.
Exactly. And here's something I found really insightful. The source suggests that a mantra doesn't have to be a formal phrase. Any repeated action performed with intention can become a mantra.
So, like what?
Well, it could be something as simple as silently affirming, I welcome clarity and focus while drinking your morning tea. Or, with each step, I move closer to my goals while taking a walk.
So it's about infusing our everyday actions with intention.
Exactly. It's about bringing mindfulness to even the most mundane activities. And the beautiful thing is that our personal transformation through mantra practice can ripple outwards, positively impacting those around us.
That's a lovely thought.
It is, right. It connects to the Buddhist concept of interdependence, the idea that we're all connected and our actions affect one another.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the takeaway message?
Well, the source material encourages us to choose a mantra that resonates with us, to make it a part of our daily lives, even if it's just for a few moments each day, and to trust in its power to transform us.
It's like tending a garden. With patience and consistent care, it will flourish.
Beautifully said. And the final thought is this. Mantras are catalysts for inner change. They reconnect us with our innate wisdom and our interconnectedness, guiding us toward wholeness.
So the answers we seek are already within us.
They are. And the journey of discovering them can be truly transformative.
Thank you for this insightful exploration.
It's been a pleasure. And until next time, dear listener, may your journey be filled with peace, purpose, and the power of your own chosen mantra.